I don't know. I think we ought to just try it out with the full length axle.
Yeah, and we can maybe modify some wheels to get some crazy offset.
We can get good offset and it'll be fine. We hope.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? I'm John.
I'm Isaac.
And on today's episode of Cars and Cameras, we are back working on the front end of our custom Ford Bronco 4x4 Power Wheels go-kart build. So in last episode, we got our control arms and front suspension assembly mocked up. Now we need to actually build our front subframe and our control arms. So we're gonna start right over here at our Crossfire Pro plasma table to cut out our subframe and go from there. You ready?
Yeah, buddy.
Here we go. Check it out.
Oh, that's way cool, buddy.
Yeah, let me cool it off real quick.
All right.
And then I'll show you what we're doing with it. Nice tight fit. So basically, these two holes right here are going to be our mounts for our lower control arms. Man, that's pretty slick, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
So, cut out the middle, a little bit more lightweight. Should be nice and strong. We're going to brace it here in the future. So I think as long as we like this, which looks great to me, I'll go ahead and cut out another one. We can put it on the back. Like we've mentioned before, this entire project is from scratch. So in addition to cutting out the front subframes with our CNC plasma table, we also cut out this steel circle here, which is going to be our hub. It's the beginnings of our hub. So Ike is going to cut that out. But if you want to check out the Langmuir Systems Crossfire Pro or their Crossfire CNC plasma table, use a link in the video description or use our discount code CarsandCameras to get $100 off your order. Highly recommend. I barely have any experience with this thing and I'm already like cutting precision stuff out. Such a time saver.
So John cut them in a way where I can just press these bearings right into them. So next thing we need to do is put them on our little squares, weld them up, put the bearing on the other side, weld it up, and then we have a place to put the upper and lower control arm for our suspension so we can turn and, you know, compression stuff.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So now I'm going to try to figure out how to make this meet the end of the A-arms while John works on the A-arms.
So I got one side of the lower front inner control arms mocked up with the heim joints here. It was looking great until I ran into a pretty obvious snag, and that is heim joints don't have enough movement to meet at a place that would be realistic or feasible on this machine. So instead, we're going to do our backup plan, which is to run this threaded rod. Of course, we're going to cut it to length and everything through this pipe here, and this whole pipe is going to pivot as the lower inner control arm on the front. We're not going to have as much adjustability, with this, but it's a way of making it work since the Heim joints just aren't going to do it this time. So here's the completed version 2 of our lower front suspension. We have pipe here, threaded rod going all the way down. We have brass and steel bushings inside here so they can pivot for our control arms. So now I can give our subframe a good solid weld. Our front subframe has been secured. Here is one of our hub and CV axle assemblies. We're going to show you how we got there when we build the other one right now.
All right, so I have the little bearing ring that John cut out for us, and I'm going to press it on to this bearing. That's it. Oh yeah, that looks good.
There's number 2.
All right, now that I have one side pretty much mocked up, it's time to get started on the second side. So this is the start of our hub assembly, and I need to make sure that I center up a hole here to mount the upper and lower control arms to. And it also it's going to be the steering spot, you know, it's going to be the pivot point for steering, and the bearing's going to be here, and the hub's going to be here, and we're going to be doing 150 miles per hour doing wheelie.
It's got to be dead on.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you know, all that speed, you got to be very accurate. So like these, I think it's something like these. Over.
Yep.
So it's all tacked together. It's ready for the axle and get the Heim joints put on it.
Ike is working on pressing the hubs to the rest of our hub assemblies. Meanwhile, I have the beginnings of our upper control arms bolted up and ready to go. I have one just sitting up here with vice grips and ready to tack. Enough to get us in trouble. So here we have our upper control arm, part of our upper control arms. So all we need to do now is build the triangular pieces off that are going to meet the upper. We don't have a ball joint, but like where a ball joint would regularly go.
We're using a Heim joint for right now.
Yeah, Heim joint. Exactly.
All right, so we got this hub assembled. Here's the axle. Good tight fit. Castle nut. And that's it, guys.
So there's a completed hub CV axle for the front.
Well, kind of. We got to put our lug nuts.
Oh, that's
on,
right.
But these are poking out a little further than we wanted. But if we were to trim this axle, it's going to put it at such a larger angle here. I don't know. I think we ought to just try it out with the full length axle.
Yeah, and we can maybe modify some wheels to get some crazy offset.
We can get good offset, and it'll be fine. We hope.
Yeah. We also did some more trimming to the plastic body so that it fits on there, and we have an even more complete look of what it's going to look like. So in the next episode, we are going to weld in our upper and lower control arms for the front. We're going to set our caster. Our camber will be adjustable thanks to those Heim joints. And we'll be closer. We can mount the engine, mount the torque converter, and begin to think about chains.
Yeah. Going to be a little difficult on the chain because the rear part of the frame here, the chain's got to come through here to get to here. So we're going to have to add some tensioners or something there to bring it up where we need it, and we can also tension the chain with it. So it ought to be fine.
Yeah. We were really hoping to get this front suspension wrapped up in today's episode by building the upper and lower control arms, but we don't have the right steel to build control arms out of. We have some nice 3/4 outside diameter steel tubing, but it's just way too thick wall, and so we would have had control arms that probably weighed more than the entire front subframe and hub assemblies. So we need something a little bit lighter weight, but I think this project is turning out pretty great so far. I love what we were able to cut out with Crossfire Pro today. The beginnings of our upper and lower control arms on the front are done. All we need to do is weld some pipe to it. We can set our alignment specs and just weld it all up, and we'll be that much closer. But if you enjoyed today's video, please leave us a thumbs up and subscribe to Cars and Cameras for more future updates and videos on this Bronco build, on our 1000cc trophy cart, all that stuff. If you like what we're doing here and you want to help support our future projects, go to our website, cars-cameras.com, and buy one of our stickers, one of our hoodies, one of our t-shirts, or one of our hats. That's a great way to support us. If you really liked our CNC plasma table, check out a link in the description of our video to the Crossfire Pro here, and you can get $100 off with our discount code CarsandCameras. Check Ike out on Instagram and YouTube at Isaac It'll Be Fine. Cars and Cameras Reviews on Facebook, and John_Cars and Cameras on Instagram to see what we're up to in between videos. Thanks again for watching, guys. We will catch you next time.
What? Notice I shaved this morning?
Yeah, it looks good.
Like, you know, it's no shave November.
Oh yeah,
right?
That's right.
Right,
Mhm.
right. You gonna let yours go? Get all Grizzly Adams like?
Yes, yeah. Let's do it.
All right. Okay, so this is the start of our